Hello again YouTube, and welcome back to Just Get a Tesla. Today I'm off to Skye. So it's a little after 20 to 7 in the morning. I've been going for about 45 minutes, something like that, and I am on the run across towards Dufftown in Moray, and after that we are going to carry on across through Aberlour, Grantown on Spey, Supercharge at Inverness for a top up, and then onwards towards Skye. It is going to be a beautiful day. There's going to be some showers, and that's absolutely fine, because all that does is add some context to the sky. When you just have completely clear blue skies, there's nothing particular to look at. I actually quite like it where you do get a nice dappled cloud appearance, because it just makes everything look that little bit more dramatic. So it's not going to be dramatically wet, and that's a good thing. We are coming into Dufftown, and for my viewers around the world who like Scotch whisky, Dufftown is home to, well, quite a lot of it. It's probably a little early in the morning for a wee dram and going for a tour around some of the distilleries, but never mind. But we are going to drive straight past Glenfiddich, and obviously Fiddy is, well, I think probably one of the biggest whiskey brands in the whole world. So we are in the heart of Speyside, Scotch whisky country, and we're going past the Glenfiddich distillery on the right hand side. You can see a lot of their maturing sheds here. Basically, if any of you guys around the world drink Glenfiddich, then it's made here, and you go past Fiddy and you get straight onto the next distillery, which is the Balvenie. They are kind of crushed together a little bit. It is interesting the way that they just stack on top of each other. I've set up the Supercharger in Inverness now as a destination to make sure that it is going to precondition the battery. That is an important thing to do if you want fast charging. Tell it where you're going to stop, and it will make sure that the battery is nice and warm when you plug it in, because if it's nice and toasty warm, it will charge quicker. So we're going to carry on along here, past Car Bridge, to Inverness, into the Supercharger, and then onwards from there we're going to cross the Keswick Bridge. We are going to carry on across the end of the Black Isle, and then onwards westwards towards Plockton, Isle of Skye, and on to Skye. Can you hear that? There is a humming beneath my feet. A distinct humming, and even a little bit of vibration. And that is because the battery heater is on, and the fan to then blow the air out of the car. And you can absolutely feel it. So that is the battery, as it says, being preconditioned for fast charging. We're on the A9 heading towards Schlod, and this is one of the problems with Tesla Vision and Autopilot. So the speed limit on this road is 60 miles an hour for cars, but for trucks it's 50 miles an hour. So we get these occasional signs which say trucks 50, and the car sees that and thinks it's the speed limit for cars and sets my speed limit to 50 miles an hour. And it isn't. It's 60 miles an hour, which means to go at this speed, I'm having to drive along on autopilot with my foot on the throttle, because otherwise it's going to restrict me down to 50. So here's the sign that I'm talking about. Ooh, They're now ending the truck speed limits of 50. But unfortunately, there you go. It is going to reset itself back to 60. That's good. It means I don't have to drive along with my foot on the gas. Also, note the map. The satellite view here was obviously done when it was winter time, because all you can see all around is snow, which actually looks quite cool. But it's not snow on the ground, obviously, at the moment. It is early May. It's still only 7 degrees, but it is 25 to 8 in the morning, so I'm sure it will warm up. I love this clump of low cloud beyond the trees. That's fabulous. And then blue sky above it. What a morning this is. Well, this is a fun car park. Oh wow, this is proper ye olde worldy car parking. I'm not entirely sure cars this size are really designed to go down it. Good grief, it's busy. I mean, it's properly busy, so we're going to have to split a charge off somebody then, aren't we? We haven't got a choice. You'd think I'd learn by now to do that with the hand I actually can use. I am right-handed, and I keep videoing with my right hand and plugging the car in with my left, which is a problem. So look, my rear wheels are pretty much up to the back of the thing. So let's actually see how we get on with this. Okie dokie. So it set the charge limit to 80, but I'm going to increase that up. What speed are we getting? Wow, 38. Is that all we're getting? Good God. Right. Oof. This is not what I would consider to be a typical supercharger. There's 6 bays. We are in a dodgy looking car park, and it's actually quite busy, which is interesting. So if we're only going to get 38, these are V2 chargers and they should be putting out 150. So I would have been hoping, even with a split charge, to be getting, I don't know, 75. I know the battery's half full, but even so. Actually, a quick update, it has now sped up, so yeah, we are getting half speed, 75, which isn't too bad. So I've actually set it to 95%, and it's saying 35 minutes remaining, and I will take 95% if I can, because the charging here, well, how can I put it? Let us have a look. Yeah, here you go. Now I don't need to navigate to it, I just wanted to look at it. Yeah, there you go. So look, we are paying it's trying to navigate me there. Stop navigating. Look, we're paying 41p a kilowatt hour. Now that is good, because when we get into the Highlands, all of the Charge Place Scotland units are going to charge me 70p a kilowatt hour. Now I understand why, because I suppose it is a lot of maintenance that needs doing, but even so, it's still a bit of a pain in the bum. So there's a couple of things that I want to do while I'm on Skye. I am thinking about getting the ferry over to Raasay, which is why I put in Sconser, but looking at it, if I take as much charge as I need here, I'm going to get onto a ferry, which then leaves me a bit too long on Raasay. So what I'm going to do instead is I am going to go all the way across the island to Neast Point, to the lighthouse, which is amazing. Wait till we get there. We'll go walk there, and then we'll see about doing Rasay on the way back. The nice thing about this supercharger is there's a Starbucks literally across from the car park. Obviously, other coffee firms are available. Take your pick. It's still busy. We've still got 5 of the 6 stalls charging, so I'm going to sit and charge a bit longer and have a bit of caffeinated beverage. But obviously, if 2 other cars pull up, I'll shift, because I have got enough charge to get me there. It's just, it's cheaper to charge here, and it's certainly quicker than it's going to be later on. So just while I'm waiting for the car to finish going, we're on 79% now and charging at 52. So it only slowed me down having a shared V2 stall. It only slowed me down at the beginning, because we relatively quickly dropped below 75, so it was throttling anyway, so it doesn't make a huge difference. So this is the wonderful Zap map, and here is the Isle of Skye. Marvellous. So we are initially going to go, so you come over the bridge down here at Kyle Loch Alsh. We are going to go all the way up the island, and we're going to go up to the lighthouse up here. But I have actually got a choice of rapid chargers. There is that one there in Dunvegan. There is another one in Portree. There's one up in Uig, Broadford. So as you can see, the pink dots, or the pink and blue slash markers, dots on the map, are rapids, and I have got sat here in the car, if I can actually find it, a Charge Place. We see that? Yeah. Charge Place Scotland RFID card. So I had to pay 20 quid to get this, but that means that I can make any of their rapid chargers work, even if there is no phone signal, and with a lot of these there isn't. But can we click on that? Yeah. So let's just have a look up here. So this is what we're going to get later on. We've got a choice of 50 kilowatt max chargers. So I'm currently on 48, having throttled down. So I know I did say at the beginning, I'm only getting 75, but actually compared to where we're going, that is going to be quick. So there's a whole stack of these, and it's going to be fairly straightforward, but we are definitely going to need some charge. And then tonight, so I'm going to come off Skye tonight, basically because I booked this trip really late, and youth hostels, there was very few beds available, but there was one available at my absolute blissful place at Rattigan, which is, I don't know, what, 20 minutes off Skye. And as you can see, there is a rapid here at Shield Bridge. So I have got easy available charging on this trip, taking an EV into the wilds of Scotland, onto the Isle of Skye, really isn't a problem at all. 93% enough. To be honest, I'm bored. So I think I'd rather stop and have a charge later on Skye, if that's what we're doing. So screw it, let's just get out of here. On our way westward past Strathpether, Strathpether with F's, not th's. It's a wonderfully misty on the hillside kind of morning, and I love this, especially when you're running alongside the banks of a loch like we are now. It just makes it interesting. But this is a fun drive so far. I mean, it has been since I left home this morning, but I think we're into all of the really interesting stuff now, which is fab. We also got passed by a Lotus, some fancy looking low slung BMW, and I don't know, some kind of tubular sports car thing which went absolutely flying off. So maybe we'll see them later on when we're on Skye. Or they're doing the North Coast 500, because this is the start of the North Coast 500. This is the, if you are going to do it anti-clockwise, this is the NC 500 right now. So I'm doing a bit of it this morning, but only a bit of it, because I'm going to turn off in about 2 miles. not really the point of the trip, but we'll have a very quick look at it from an efficiency point of view. Since we charged up, we've done 39 miles and got 286 watt hours per mile, which is, I don't know, 3.7, 3.8 miles per kilowatt hour, somewhere around that. And for the whole trip so far, 144 miles from home and averaging 300. So, by the way, guys, if you want to do the math yourself, quite literally divide the watt hours per mile number by 1,000, and that gives you how many you're actually getting in miles per kilowatt hour. So we are coming up on the point where I do turn off the North Coast 500. So the NT 500 carries on straight ahead. We are going to be turning left because we are heading for Isle of Skye, obviously, and then on to Skye. So you're following the railway line for much of the trip down this valley, and we're going to continue to do so. I've done the trip on the train, and, well, I mean, you can see the scenery, it's gorgeous, and the train trip, if you can ever do it, is well worth it as well. Nope, we're still on the NT 500. So, where does the NT 500 turn off then? Because I thought it went up that way. Well, either way. So, we're still doing a chunk of the NT 500, guys. I will have studied the route by the time we do it ourselves, but I'm planning on doing it the other way around. So, to head from Inverness up to Thurso and Wick and John O'Groats first, and then across the top. This is going the other way around, so it's fine to do it this way. When I finally do the North Coast 500, we will of course be seeing the scenery in the other direction. I said earlier on about liking skies like this that give it context, where it's not just an ocean of featureless blue sky, but you've actually got something to look at, and cloud just makes these mountainsides look mysterious and interesting, and the difference between the light and the shade. This is my absolute favourite weather conditions, and it's warming up nicely as well. 12 degrees, it's going to be, I think, 15, 16 later on, which is decent for the beginning of May in this part of the world. I'm not entirely sure what Autopilot is seeing here, because there's no markings, but it's working. I haven't turned off. This is the same road we were just on, but as you can see, we have now dropped to a, well, single track in quite a few places, and then a wider bit, and then it goes narrow again. So this is where the proper country roads in the Highlands really start. As soon as you start dropping into single track and have to start thinking about, can I proceed through the next section without needing to back up, that for me is where you are properly off the beaten track. I love all of this. Oh, he's just gone flying past that. Hang on, tart. Bonga, bonga, bonga. Hang on, tart. Good. That was exciting, wasn't it? Happily, the verge was suitable to stick a couple of wheels onto, otherwise it really would have been have to stop and back up and whatever else. Obviously there was far more vehicles coming that way than just me, so I would have backed up, and backing up's fine, I've got good cameras. So we are running alongside another loch, and hopefully the foliage will clear and you can see it a little bit better. And then bridges over little streams like that where they are quite narrow. So as you can see, there are a lot of passing places, which is quite handy. Or then a section like this where it suddenly becomes double track and you get past people quite easily. And that's what you're hoping to do, is to get it so that you're hitting the traffic on the wide bits. And we'll see how we get on. Cattle grid, and another one. Yes, we have just dropped from a 60 miles an hour limit to a 40 miles an hour limit, although even 40 feels fast down here. 60 would be downright lunatic. No one's going to actually police it. You're not going to get a cop car with a radar gun. But there is probably a point of a lot of these roads, you just need to stop and be sensible. I'm not sure everybody is. We are running alongside Loch Carron. We have definitely now turned off the North Coast 500, and we're going to keep popping up alongside the railway line to Kyle, on and off for the next few miles actually. So the railway literally clings to the rock side. The road weaves its way around a wee bit and then goes back down again. But I know that there is at least one snow shelter coming up. Oh, wow. And we've been blessed with the weather. Some of this is full regen, just to hold speed down to something sensible as we go down this hill. Blimey! Yeah, here comes the snow tunnel, rock tunnel, whatever. This is absolutely unique. I cannot think of anywhere else in the UK that's got something like this. I suspect we're going to be able to keep going because we're following a coach. So, and there's three of us. No, the guy is still trying to push his way through anyway, despite the fact that there's a coach and a line of traffic. And of course it's a camper van. Have you seen this? The Hairy Coo bus from Skye. Honk if you're horny. Why not? That was a pair of Toyota GR Yaris's. Yarai? What's the plural of Yaris? But, yeah. Friends out for a trip? This is fab. So we're on a ledge. The railway here is on a ledge. We're all being waved through by the look of it. So I'm just going to follow the bus. that's a good place for him to stop. Thank you very much. What the bus probably should have done there was just wait for the traffic to move forward so that he could pull back onto the single track without having to bump through some of those holes that we saw him doing. Are we going? Yeah, we're going. I guess if you're coming the other way and you see a bright orange coach coming at you, you're gonna stop. What a pretty village. Yeah, we'll keep going. Hotel complete with a dining terrace on the side of the loch. That's amazing. I don't think I'm actually going to be going that way. I'm going to go up here and turn around. I've just had a look down the track that it wanted me to go up. No. No. But I think that I get the idea. Oh, what was that? Pontoon and pier. Let's go down there. So this is a turning point, so we're going to have a spin around here. Actually, it's not a turning point, it's I've done that a couple of times. Reach for the wrong lever and put the indicators on rather than reverse. So, let's go down and have a look at the pier. Then we'll head for Kyle. And on to Skye. Pontoons and main pier. Yeah, go on then, let's have a look. Certainly make sure no one's coming the other way. Yeah. You can see the bridge in front of us now. So when I first went to Skye, there were toll booths here because this was a privately built bridge, and the toll for crossing was some crazy amount of money, much more than the ferry ever was. It's now free because it got bought out by the government, but look at that in front of us. And then just look at how graceful this bridge is. So this first bridge, we're off so this is a small island. I think this is Island Ban, and then we get on to the Skye Bridge proper in a minute. This is seriously steep. Welcome to the Isle of Skye. We have made it. First of all, we are going to go to Kyle Aiken just to wrap this video up, because I am going to split this trip into 3 sections. I had thought 2, but I have shot far too much video this morning to hack chunks out of it, which is what I would need to do. So to give Skye enough video time, I'm actually going to chop in a minute. But look at this. This is worth a trip down anyway. So Kyle is over there. You can see the harbour, and there's a boat tied up. So the ferry used to come across to here. I hope you've enjoyed this morning's trip across here to Skye, and part 2 will be coming up on the channel very soon, in a few days, and we are going to go walking and doing a bit of exploring. You need to see Skye. If you've never seen Skye, subscribe to the channel, make sure you're here for the next video, because it is absolutely stunning. But until next time, I will see you very soon back here on Just Get a Tesla.